You're not going to lose your job to AI. You're going to lose your job to somebody who uses it.
We're looking at a world where we have levels of unemployment we've never seen before. Not talking about 10%, but 99%.
Things which I had to look her in the face and said, every single one of those things that you've done now matters zero in this world.
True.
So what does matter if you want to get ahead?
Now, if you're watching this and you feel like your head is about to fall off, don't panic. By the end of this video, I'm going to walk you through the 5-step process I use so you don't feel overwhelmed by AI. Now, a little bit of an intro from me. I'm Harry, I'm an AI consultant and content creator, and I started off as a tech journalist, so explaining complicated things in a way that makes sense is my thing. Alright, 5 steps. So the first thing, and honestly don't overthink this, just open a note. This can be anywhere. Apple Notes, a scrap of paper, you can even dictate it into your phone if you want. There's an inbuilt dictation on iPhones. Don't worry about where it lives. Now I want you to think about your job and write down all the tasks you actually do. And then go through and mark the most repetitive, most annoying ones, the boring admin parts, and this is where we're going to start. Next, your SOPs, the standard things you do on repeat. Have a look at each one and ask yourself, how much of this can I reasonably hand off to Claude or ChatGPT? And just as important, where do I actually need to stay in the loop? Where do I need to be the one checking the work and making the decisions? Because there are some things that genuinely need you, but there are more than you might think that don't. Step 3. I want you to list the tools you use every day. The emails, doc. The reason we do this is we're eventually going to link those up to whatever AI platform you end up using. And it makes your life dead easier. Have a think about whether you mostly use them on desktop or on your phone, because that changes what we build later. Step 4. Stop doom scrolling. I mean it. It's so easy at the moment, especially if you've got a proper job, to feel like if you don't stay on top of every single AI announcement, you're going to lose your job, or your whole industry is going to be wiped out, or you'll never work again. All of those thoughts are perfectly normal, but they are catastrophic thinking, and it puts you in a downward spiral. The reality, yes, AI is moving at a genuinely exponential pace. It's also true that most people are miles behind the cutting edge. Everyone's at different levels, and there are loads of different considerations going into it. And a lot of the loudest voices online are simply trying to get attention, clicks, views. They're not grounded in what's actually happening. I don't think you're going to lose your job overnight. What you want is a system, just enough information to stay in the know without drowning in it, because being overwhelmed actually destroys your focus and it causes more problems than not knowing did in the first place. So here's what I'd suggest: a daily email to yourself summarising a handful of sources you trust. A couple of YouTubers, Matt Wolf is a really great YouTuber. Now, I try to focus on practical tips on this channel. If you're interested in the more technical side, I also make videos for CTO, for G Corp. They're like the European Cloudflare. But get that email ready that tells you what's worth reading that day and what isn't. 20 to 30 minutes tops, 1 hour absolute max, and then shut it off and get on with your day. Step 5, you need to find out whether you're even allowed to send data to AI tools at your company. And don't panic about this. Honestly, a lot of people get worked up and into a frenzy about this, and in most cases it's fine. But if you're in one of the more regulated industries, healthcare, finance, that kind of thing, there are ways around it. You can run an open source model, and you can get something that is fully locked down in a European data center, and that will be fully GDPR compliant. It means you're not sending your data to OpenAI or Anthropic. Now that's the sort of thing that I can help businesses with, so if that's you, then come and have a chat with me and we can begin that conversation. But in general, if you're a bit nervous and you don't want to have that conversation, there are practical things you can do. First of all, you can strip the confidential bits out before you paste anything in. You want to keep financial or client data separate. But honestly, if you're worried, just have the conversation with someone higher up. I think you look good for thinking about how you use AI. I think you look a lot worse if you're just simply using it on the sly. Alright, here's a bonus bit. So the number one question I get asked is, Harry, which tool do I actually use this week? There's a new one every week. Well, let me let you into a little bit of a secret. Most AI tools are wrappers. I mean, someone's taken a foundational model, so Claude or ChatGPT, And they put a different interface on the top. And some of them are genuinely great. They're genuinely useful because setting up the flow in Claude or ChatGPT would take time. But the reality is a lot of what you can do with these tools, you can actually do most of it directly in Claude or ChatGPT. Now, especially with Claude Code and the agentic stuff that's come out, a Claude Pro or Max subscription or a ChatGPT subscription is going to cover an enormous amount of what most people need. Of course, as I said, some of these new tools do solve specific problems, but most of the time, if we sit down and actually look at your workflow, we can figure out with what you've already got. I genuinely wouldn't worry about the tool of the week. So there you go. That's 5 tips and a bonus one. Audit your job, look at your SOPs, map your tools, build a sensible system and stop doom scrolling, and check your data situation. Plus, don't chase the new tools every week. I don't think you need to panic. I think you just need a process. Now, I'm Harry Verity. If you found that useful, do feel free to DM me and we could discuss how I can help you, whether that's through coaching or building some things for you. My LinkedIn profile is in the comments below. And I'm also putting out regular content to help people with AI at work. And I'll see you very soon.